Intelligence is supposed to guarantee survival. The smarter a species becomes, the better it should adapt. But in nature, that isn't always what happens. Some of the smartest animals on Earth aren't extinct. Yet they're still facing threats that intelligence alone can't solve. We assume intelligence means advantage. We assume it means resilience. We assume it means power. But intelligence also creates dependency. The more complex an animal's behaviors become, the more they rely on specific resources, specific environments, and specific social structures. And when those systems change faster than the species can adapt, intelligence can become a weakness. In this documentary, we explore the smartest animals on the planet, the ecosystems they depend on, and the hidden reason being smart isn't always enough. What intelligence really means. When we talk about intelligence, we often think of human logic. But in nature, intelligence is not a single skill. It's a collection of survival tools. Some animals are problem solvers, some are communicators, some use tools, some show emotional complexity, and some do all of the above. For example, the octopus can solve complex puzzles, open jars, and navigate mazes. It can remember solutions and adapt them. That's intelligence. But it's also a solitary animal, and it depends on hiding, camouflage, and the availability of certain prey. Elephants, on the other hand, have long memories and strong social bonds. They remember water sources across miles. They mourn their dead. They communicate through vibrations and low-frequency sounds that travel for kilometers. Then there are primates like chimpanzees and bonobos, who can use tools, make social alliances, and even show empathy. They can teach their young, they can solve problems, they can pass knowledge down through generations. And then there are animals like dolphins, who have complex social systems, communication, and problem-solving that rivals our own. They even show self-awareness. But intelligence is not just about solving problems. It's about specialization. The smarter a species becomes, the more it can specialize. It learns the rules of its world. It learns the patterns. It learns what works. And that works well until the world changes. Because intelligence relies on predictability. It relies on systems. It relies on stable conditions. But the world is becoming less stable. Climate change is reshaping habitats. Human expansion is fragmenting ecosystems. Pollution is changing the chemistry of oceans and rivers. And invasive species are rewriting the rules of survival. So the question becomes, can intelligence survive a world that is changing too fast? To answer that, we need to look at the smartest animals and the systems they depend on. Section 1. Corvids, the genius birds. Corvids are some of the smartest birds on Earth. Crows and ravens have been observed using tools, solving puzzles, and even understanding human gestures. They can remember faces. They can plan for the future. They can hide food and return to it months later. Their intelligence is impressive. But corvids are also deeply tied to specific ecosystems. They thrive in forests, near water sources, and in environments with stable food cycles. When forests are cut down, when cities expand, and when human waste changes their food sources, corvids are forced to adapt. They do adapt, and that's part of what makes them so remarkable. They can live in cities, scavenging food from human environments. But city life comes with new threats: traffic, pollution, predators, and human conflict. In some cases, corvids thrive in urban areas. They learn to open trash bins, steal food from street vendors, and even follow human patterns to find food. But urban environments also expose them to dangers they never faced in the wild. So their intelligence helps them survive. But it cannot create new ecosystems. And it cannot guarantee safety. The question becomes, how much can intelligence compensate for the destruction of habitat? For many corvids, the answer is unclear. Section 2. Dolphins, the ocean's smartest minds. Dolphins are one of the most intelligent animals on the planet. They communicate with complex calls. They work together to hunt. They form deep social bonds that last for years. They even show self-awareness. Dolphins can recognize themselves in mirrors, a sign of high intelligence. But dolphins live in a world that is changing rapidly. The oceans are warming. Pollution is increasing. Fishing practices are stripping the seas of fish. Dolphins depend on healthy ocean ecosystems. They need clean water, they need abundant prey, they need safe breeding grounds. Their intelligence helps them adapt, but it cannot stop the ocean from changing. In some regions, dolphins are learning to navigate polluted waters. They are avoiding dangerous areas. They are shifting their hunting patterns. But intelligence cannot solve the root problem. The ocean is becoming less hospitable. And when the ecosystem fails, the smartest animals in the sea can still struggle. Section 3. Elephants, the memory of the wild. Elephants are known for their memory, their emotional depth, and their social complexity. They mourn their dead. They form strong family bonds. They travel across vast landscapes to find water. Elephants rely on stable habitats and predictable seasonal cycles. They need large territories to roam. They need access to water sources that can be hundreds of miles apart. But the world is changing. Water sources are drying up. Land is being developed. Human populations are expanding into elephant habitats. Elephants are intelligent, but intelligence cannot create new water sources. It cannot stop droughts. It cannot rebuild the ecosystems that are disappearing. So elephants face a harsh reality. Their intelligence helps them navigate a shrinking world, but it cannot stop the world from shrinking. Section 4. Octopuses, the solo genius. The octopus is one of the most intelligent invertebrates on Earth. It can solve complex problems, open jars, and navigate mazes. It can escape enclosures and avoid predators with camouflage. But octopuses are solitary animals. They live short lives. They reproduce once, then die. They depend on specific ocean conditions, temperature, oxygen levels, and prey availability. When the ocean warms or becomes more acidic, octopus habitats can collapse quickly. And because octopuses don't have long lives, they can't rely on long-term social learning. Their intelligence is incredible, but their lifespan and environmental dependency make them vulnerable. Section 5. Primates, the tool users. Primates like chimpanzees and bonobos are highly intelligent. They use tools. They create social structures. They teach their young. They solve problems and adapt their behaviors. But primates are often tied to specific habitats: rainforests, savannas, and complex ecosystems. When those habitats are destroyed, primates lose their homes, their food sources, and their social networks. Human expansion often forces primates into smaller spaces, where disease spreads faster and food becomes scarce. Primates are intelligent. They can adapt to some extent. But intelligence alone cannot rebuild a destroyed habitat. Act 3. The intelligence trap. The smartest animals often become specialists. They master a niche, a system, a specific environment. They learn the rules of survival. They build systems and routines. But specialization comes with risk. In a stable world, specialization is a strength. It allows animals to outperform others. But in a changing world, it becomes a weakness. The world is changing faster than ever. Climate change, habitat loss, pollution, and human expansion are reshaping ecosystems at an unprecedented rate. And for animals that depend on specific conditions, intelligence can't fix the speed of change. That's the intelligence trap. You can be smart, but still be vulnerable. The smartest animals may be the first to feel the pressure when environments change, because their intelligence is tied to stability, and stability is disappearing. Act 4. The pattern across nature. Across the animal kingdom, a pattern emerges. The most adaptable species are often not the smartest, but the most flexible. Generalist species survive by doing many things well. They can eat different foods, live in different environments, and quickly shift behaviors when conditions change. Examples include raccoons, rats, pigeons, and crows. Animals that can thrive in cities. They adapt quickly. They exploit new food sources. They survive in environments that would kill more specialized species. They may not be brilliant, but they're resilient. Resilience is a form of intelligence too. It's not about complexity, it's about flexibility. Intelligence helps animals thrive in stable systems. But resilience helps them survive in chaotic systems. And the world is becoming increasingly chaotic. Act 5. Human parallel and final message. Humans are the most intelligent species on Earth. We've built civilizations, technologies, and global systems. But those systems are fragile. We depend on power grids, supply chains, and stable environments. When one piece breaks, the entire system can collapse. Our intelligence has created a world of comfort, but also a world of dependency. So the question becomes, are we smart enough to adapt? Or are we simply building a system that only works in a stable world? The smartest animals remind us of a hard truth. Intelligence is not the same as survival. In a world that's changing faster than ever, the ability to adapt may be the greatest intelligence of all.